I'm a bad mood, gotta keep it tight. Hold my baby squid, keep him out of sight. Talking about my life, government stay away. If you drive, I'ma do it my own way. Squid in the ocean, swimming all alone. Ain't nobody telling me where to go. Living free, gotta stay true to myself. No need for interference from anyone else. Squid pro quo, that's the way to be. Living on my terms, setting myself free. Mama to my baby, protecting with my no government intrusion. I control my life.
Hey guys, let me start that over. Mic was muted. Baby Squid likes to come and unplug it from time to time, and it looks like she did. So, kind of an impromptu live. I wanted to read these letters from Sarah because I'm sick of looking at them on my desktop. And I just wasn't sure what time I was going to be able to go live today, so I didn't want to like schedule anything because we had errands to run, and then I scheduled the live, and then when she was running in here, she face planted into my filing cabinet, which she smacked it so hard with her hand that she bent the handle. It's a cheap one, so the handles like don't take much to bend. But so we had she's hanging out with an ice pack. So, hey Flash fan, hey Roy, taking my daughter with me to vote in 40 minutes when early voting site opens. Early voting here ends on the 1st, and I still haven't gone. Yes, we do have a what the F Wednesday scheduled, and that was the one that I wanted to do last week. It's UGA Florida Hate Week, leading up to the biggest outdoor cocktail party. So I wanted to get some shit off my chest from the Georgia Texas game. So it's gonna kind of be a sports what the F Wednesday, because horns down is all I can say. For those of you who know, you know. For those of you who don't, I will inform you on the BS that is all things Texas. Okay, it was Discord you wrote me. I got home from running errands and I was like, I thought I got a notification from Flash Fan. I just didn't know if it was my text, my email, or Discord. It's like, oi. It was kind of an early morning and lots of errands to get done, you know. Hey Penny, how are you? Tim, how are you? And Cynthia, you actually got a notification. I mean, I'm shocked. Before we get started with all things Sarah, we have to enter the world of the Pettyverse for just a second. Don't start no shit, won't be no shit. There are some people in this world who, when they get older and they inevitably leave this world, as everybody does, will leave behind people who remember them. Children, families who care, close-knit. They did something, they invented something, they made an impact on somebody else's life in a positive way. And then there are those people who all they can do is talk shit because they have nothing else. And off of the internet, they have no lives. They have no friends. They have no career. They think they have a career, but they have no career. They have to run to people to try to get them to talk about things. They talk crap when they don't get their way. And when they inevitably leave, nobody is going to remember them. They have no family that gives a crap. Once they close the computer, nobody remembers their name. And just remember that if people aren't going to remember them while they are gone or when they are gone, there's no use remembering them while they're here. And if that makes me unhinged, so be it. If caring about my daughter makes me unhinged, tell me you're not a parent without telling me. Telling me you have no family that actually gives a crap about you without telling me. Thank you for letting me know how much your life sucks offline and that you just have to sit on your computer for hours and hours a day because you have nothing else to do. Nobody likes you. Nobody wants to be near you. You don't turn on your camera because nobody wants to see your ugly faces. And just remember that no matter what shit you talk when you are here, no one gives a crap about you. No one cares. When you leave this world someday, because everybody does, everybody grows older. We can't stop time for all that we want to with like Botox and shit. We can't stop time. So do something good while you're here so that someone actually remembers you for being something other than a pain in the ass. Because no one gives a shit about you. When you close your computer, you have nobody else that gives a crap. You don't love, nobody loves you. You don't love anybody. And I'm sorry, but that sounds like a pretty shitty life. And you're pretty fucking pathetic. So I might be unhinged because I care about people, but guess what? I actually have people that care about me. And that's where we differ. So don't show your face around here. Don't start no shit. Won't be no shit. You started shit, but you're not worth remembering. You're not worth wasting my oxygen. I've wasted 6 minutes of my time talking about people who don't fucking matter. Get a life. Get a life. And honestly, I hope you find something in life that people can actually remember you for a good thing. Because if you just leave behind bad energy, no one's going to remember you for shit. You don't have kids who love you. You don't have family who loves you. Your husbands don't even love you. Your wife doesn't love you. Just saying. Get a life off the internet because right now you're just a waste of oxygen. You're wasting opportunities that other people really want. Yeah, ain't none of us getting out of here alive. Better make each day count. And talking shit about people on the internet for hours a day because you have no lives off the internet. The rest of us got shit to do. The rest of us got kids. The rest of us got families. The rest of us got careers. Ain't nobody getting out of this world alive. So you might as well make each day count. And talking shit on the internet because that's the only place where your life is worth a shit. You think your life is worth a shit. Move on. Because that's what I'm doing. Because I got cases to cover. I got topics to cover. I got freaking this Georgia football thing that's driving me nuts. Oh, I just get messages all the time saying so and so is talking shit about you. I'm going to say this once. You don't matter to anybody. Nobody likes you. Nobody gives a shit about you. Your families don't even like you. That's why you have to get gratification from people on the internet. I have a YouTube channel because Mr. Squid is sick of me talking about cases. If I'm going to talk to people about cases on the internet, I might as well do it on YouTube. He's happier because he doesn't have to listen to me go, well, Sarah Boone did this. Well, Sarah Boone did this. I can find people who like what I like. Yes, no trolls allowed. Hopefully they aren't suitcases. All right, now we are entering a different pettyverse. Oh, Cynthia, I hope everything works out. I know you've kind of had a rough road of it lately. So Lexi, whodunit, people that don't matter and aren't worth anybody's time. But they think they're worth people's time. That's the who broke our lovely squid? No one. That's who. She's too cool for the BS. Yeah, I ain't got time for that shit. I've got to get through these letters, make her dinner or lunch, late lunch, early dinner, because she eats when she eats. I make her food. I set it out for her, and then she eats it when she wants to, or I give her like stuff in a snack bin and she picks out what she wants to pick out when she wants it. Because forcing her to eat when everybody else eats, no. And we are constantly in Operation Gain Weight because she's like her dad, super tiny. Yeah, you're like your dad, super skinny. So hey Lexi. Hey Mercedes. So if she comes up to me crying, it's because I didn't give her Tylenol because I'm hoping that it'll just like go away. But she busted her lip, so no blood, but you know. Oh, hey Jen, how are you? Yeah, the thing about it is thinking that you're gonna go to Rumble and have people censored on Rumble. Tell me you don't know what Rumble is without telling me. Like, yeah. Tell me you don't know what Rumble is and you don't know a shit about Rumble. I can call anybody anything on Rumble, in my opinion, and they can't. Yeah. Oh, I hope you feel better, Jen. It seems like everybody's sick. I don't know if it's the changing of the weather, the changing of the season. I've been taking my allergy medication again because I've had this like not. I've had snotty people. All right, so we are going to get to these. We are going to get to these letters, and I love y'all, but we got to do that. There we go. Ugh. Ain't nobody getting my energy down. Ah, Megan's Rumble last night was funny, but it like somebody who shall remain nameless sent me that video or that link, and I watched the first part of it, and I like couldn't. I don't care what people do with their spare time, but like what you do behind closed doors should stay behind closed doors, not be written in an article and not be on a stage somewhere. Like, ooh, oh, Flash fan, you would have thrown up. You would have thrown up. It would have disgusted you. These people need Jesus. You think I am depraved or I am bad or I am unhinged? Oh, Rumble is another streaming platform. It's newer, but it's a streaming platform that does not you'll hear like crazy like far lefties call it like the right wing YouTube. It's not. It's for everybody, but they don't censor. Like they don't. So Megan did part of her stream on YouTube last night, and then because they're trying to strike her channel when she got to the juicy parts or the disgusting parts, like I don't care what people do. You have every like kink in the world. I don't care. Keep it behind closed doors. Ain't nobody need to see that shit. Like, nobody needs to see that. You can have whatever things you want behind closed doors. I don't care. Everybody is free to do what they want. That's what makes this a beautiful country. However, there are some things that people just don't want to see. Yeah. And they're so quick to judge everybody else. Are you okay? Come here, BB. Come here. But when they get judged back, all of a sudden it's a problem. It's like you sit on a freaking computer and judge people all night long. Yeah, I've never wanted to scratch my eyes out. If there is any that video could cause an eating disorder like bulimia. Mama. Yes. Hey. Oh, okay. Here we go. Yes. Are you taking over? Are you gonna let everybody know how much of a sweet girl you are? Yeah. It's Baby Squish world. We just live in it. I know. The thing about Tug on Rumble is Tug lets his, I believe, I don't know the man. I have never actually talked to him. But whenever I see him on Rumble versus whenever I see him on YouTube, he is reserved on YouTube. He is very, like, not professional, but, like, keeps his personal opinions to his personal opinions. When he gets on Rumble, he lets you know. I think Tug needed therapy after last night. I think we all needed therapy last night. We needed something. Yeah, I love Tug. Tug is awesome. Tug is hilarious. And even Ricado was in the chat last night. Like, see, and I wish that the Ricado situation was different. I really do. Because if all that crap would have never went down, you know he'd be covering this case. And you know he'd be covering all this stuff. Rogue Mama, I'm going live at 3, so 12 your time. But this is a stream that we are reading Sarah Boone's letters. The 3 o'clock stream is for just like what we are doing now. But we are getting through these Sarah Boone letters because I'm sick of looking at them on my desktop. I want them gone. I don't want to think about Sarah Boone until December 2nd. So we are just going to get through these things as fast as possible. And it was a kind of an impromptu live because I didn't know what time I'd be home from running errands. Like we had like 3 or 4 stops we needed to make this morning. So yeah. And then somebody busted their lip. So I think that she bit her lip more than anything. So this is a lot of pages. We read the first one to her husband's lawyer. And we are going to read the next one. These are from 2022, where she was in the middle. I don't know if she's in the middle of her divorce or she was already divorced and she was paying alimony, or getting alimony, not paying because she couldn't afford it. So this one is to the judge. July 17th, 22. Judge Dean, after coming back from an outside medical appointment for my cancer and surgery, I didn't realize that she had cancer until I read that first letter. I really wanted to call my son to hear his voice and brighten my long, arduous day. You're in prison. What do you mean long, arduous day? You don't do anything. In doing so, he was checking the mail, telling me I had a letter from you and wanted to be helpful and read it for me. The document was an order to dispense mediation stating, 1, the order was granted by you. 2, parties can move forward, meaning former husband and his attorney, as I'm just told what to do and have no representation. The case is set for trial when, and 3, the court remains over jurisdiction in this instant case. What does that mean? When my 11-year-old was finished reading, his response was, I'm sorry, I don't know what Dad's trying to do now. I myself am trying to figure out what new underhanded terror he's attempting. So I decided to call him directly and ask, why was this sent to him and not me, the other party? What else? This is babbling on and on. Is this making sense to anybody? What else am I not receiving or being informed about regarding this matter? 2, why did he not communicate anything to me or with me during the time of the multitudinous phone calls we've had since the order was granted or prior to even being generated, so this could be avoided? I call almost every day to speak to my son, then call former husband, I like how she puts that in quotes, during the day while my son is at school to try and attempt to have a reasonable discussions. Yeah, I think it's funny too, baby girl, about personal matters such as this. I'm trying to alleviate any additional difficulties, and I'm constantly coming up with solutions in everything to work with former husband to complete this process in a positive, fair, and accurate manner. How this can be done now the mediation has been dispensed. Both parties could have figured something out instead of just canceling completely. Former husband could have explained his intentions to help understand my circumstances better in being unable to choose a date for mediation 4 months in advance. On top of my cancer, on top of my trial, I simply asked for help from former husband and his attorney and yourself, Your Honor, to provide information so I could choose, even if the date had to be changed. If the other party was bypassed and ignored completely, with no explanation from anyone, I wasn't even able to respond in a more timely manner because I never received the order or knew it was granted until my son happened to check the mail that day and read it to me. This mediation, I keep wanting to say medication because of her handwriting. This mediation is all I have to be rightfully heard and utilize my rights as a mother and a human being, to be seen in a clearer light, not as the one-sided, ugly, unfair, slanderous everything said by former husband. I attempted to be professional and correspond with everyone. I explained my situation and simply asked for some important documents to be better prepared, as this would probably be my only opportunity to make myself count in all of this. I asked how to set up a video and asked face-to-face if face-to-face was an option. My requests and questions were all in an attempt to choose a date and schedule this much-needed, very important mediation. I included you also, Judge Dean, after being instructed by former husband's attorney to correspond to him so you would know my attempt, requests, and willingness to cooperate, as well as my eagerness to complete. I simply asked for paperwork to review, as I do not have any, and am being accused by former husband of being difficult and uncooperative by not signing documents I've never seen or knew existed until being served with a summons notifying me of his means to take all I have left other than the marrow from my bones. Poetry. Please understand that I never said no or that I was not going to schedule. I want to be at my best possible with all the information for my review beforehand, as would former husband be in his attorney, but not myself, unless I requested. Run on sentences, lady. Why am I being penalized for wanting to be prepared? Why was no explanation or reason given or discussed for canceling the mediation? Why was no attempt made to make sure I, the other party, and the other parent was included along with everyone else to have the same understanding of what was happening? Why was my copy of this order not sent to me at my current location, jail, instead to former husband, who already knew since he was the one who generated the plan? How would I have known any of this if not found and read by my son? Completely unfair and wrong. I'm being penalized for doing everything I'm supposed to be doing, and for my attempts to show my heartfelt desire and determination to be a part of this, rightfully be the other party. If I have to go through this too, on top of everything else, I will and am. It should not be held against me to correspond, make my basic request, and ask questions, to choose the correct armor of my choice for this mediation, an ongoing battle, since I can confidently explain myself and fight for my rights to be the mother I am and will always be. I asked for nothing out of the ordinary, and any caring, competent mother, human being would not themselves ask for in a situation as mine. Also, in the letter to me from former husband's attorney providing me mediation dates to choose from, 7/5/22, have you seen? It specifically states, quote, please respond to this correspondence within 20 days of receipt with your preferred date and attendance method. Otherwise, we will unilaterally schedule the conference and send you the details, unquote. I did with my request to help give me a better understanding. Whew. I thought I was getting better. I thought I was getting better at reading her letters, and then I realized that I am not. Like, so why wasn't this unilaterally scheduled as stated? It was canceled. Would it have been better on my part to have just not corresponded at all so this mediation could have been unilaterally scheduled? I feel if I had not made my willing and eager attempt to abide by everyone's rules and played the part of the terrible, low-life inmate, former husband, and what seems to be by everyone else wants me to be, I would be preparing, reviewing, and working around this unilaterally scheduled mediation. I do not understand, and no one has made any attempt to help me to. Honorable Dean, please understand this mediation is everything and can help ease the ongoing pain of whatever former husband's daily terror is he chooses to inflict. Makes me beg pitifully for pictures which I still have not received. Has me call every week to ask for commissary funds so I can purchase necessities and sugar for my glucose concerns. Oh my God. Drama queen. Then says no, refuses the occasional hot meal on a Sunday. I was made to cry over a cheeseburger when explaining to him the amount of weight I am continuously losing weekly due to being sick, and thought this would help me gain by eating. I was still told no. As far as I'm aware, the dissolution of marriage agreement regarding the alimony which I did sign is still and has been in effect, meaning I have funds available to purchase the aforementioned and had been doing previously with no problem, conflict, or difficulty. Everything was non-confrontational and smooth running until former husband implemented, or trying to, these inaccurate, unnecessary modifications. The relief he is seeking could have been avoided until he decided to involve our son and my maternal rights. Again, one obscure, unfortunate incident does not nor will ever define who I am, and it makes no difference where I am for former husband to think I am unable to make meaningful, moralistic decisions involving our son. Jesus. Oh, sweet Jesus. Sweet Jesus. Holy crap. Regardless of my circumstances, this mediation will allow a just and fair opportunity for both parties to be equally heard. I can make everyone aware I am someone and worthy, most of all for and to my son. Please, Your Honor, please allow the mediation to be scheduled. Please take into consideration everything I have graciously said and explained, everything I still want to say and have a right to. Please, or provide another suggestion with some kind of facilitator to give a neutral opinion and assistance to both parties to work together. Two parties, two sides, two voices. How else can I be heard, seen, or counted for? I too have defining points for discussion, and my understanding was this was part of or the reason for mediation, to aid in a fair, reasonable outcome for both parties, for compromises to be made, not controlling demands. Specific details need to be discussed regarding all of the agreements, as some I have not ever seen. The supplemental petition for modification of final judgment and joint stipulation for modification, the most recent. What is there pre-modifications for all? This is why I requested these documents. In summary, thank God. So because I have nothing and no one, former husband, having an attorney, multiple monetary resources, a familial support system, and also with unlimited resources in every way, I am to just accept defeat unfairly and be okay with everything. I am saddened. how the justice system is so unjust and unable to help people as myself who were once advocates for, I voted in jail, and raised to believe in the safety, indivisibility, goodness, and truth of, and what honor is supposed to be, and where it can always be found. At this point in my life, I am severely disappointed. What do I have to say? Anything to say What do I have to say? Anything to say different or show for? Where is my testimony? It really just, I've communicated with everyone, tried to explain everything, and make my effort known. I have no access to a computer to check my status in this or documents being filed. No access to make viable phone calls worthwhile agencies asking for assistance due to unauthorized numbers per Orange County Corrections Department rules. I can't even contact my former husband's attorney to ask my questions and voice my concerns directly. I've written so many letters. You think? I've lost count. I've tried everything, still trying in every way. What else can I do, Judge Dean? Please allow the mediation. Please help me in however you can. Please don't just show me where to sign former husband's unfair, incorrect paperwork. Any act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. Jesus. Thank you for your time, review, and understanding. For future reference and correspondence, please make sure to use my address as follows. Sarah Boone in, Corrections Department. Please be fair and see my point of view and determination. I try desperately every day to come up with the solutions for and in everything. The reason I am again contacting you directly, hoping and praying you are able to use your right, proper, and unprejudiced judgment and authority to help someone as myself finally have testimony to the struggle which I am and have been long overdue for. I patiently await. Again, I'm grateful. Thank you. Sincerely, Sarah Boone. Holy goodness. Oh my God. That was long. Oh, all right. Like, I just, yeah, this is an, what? Internet. There we go. Oh, I love rural internet. It is so much fun and so reliable. Yeah, I really hope she wasn't lying about cancer. Like like that. I have two. It's that one and then there's one back there. So, morning Peachy. And King Bob, thank you for your 10 gifted Squid Pro Quo memberships. Those went to IT Goatee, Rebel Bird, Amanda, Ficus, Simon Pelling, Alternate Jur, Melissa McDonald, Fundian, Swiftly, Karen D. Knoll, Betchel, and L. Lou. Yay! So that was one letter. That was one letter. That was long. Oh, and that was ex parte to the judge. Like, I just don't. I just don't know how that. I wonder what the judge thought when he saw that, or she saw that. I don't know if Judge Dean is a male or female. Yeah, we're gonna put that right there. What did you think of that? This is your channel. Flash fan, I'm sure somebody will gift you one. The thing about the gifted memberships was the Angry Vet, when I first got monetized, gifted 50. So a lot of people got memberships that weren't, or that normally wouldn't, because there was just so many, and the odds were just in your favor based on the amount of people. Are you feeling better? Oh, yes, this is just me being a bad mom. Yep. All right. The second one, or the next one is September 9th of 22. And this is when her husband was trying to get a judgment to stop paying alimony because he was like, she's in jail. Why am I paying alimony to someone who's behind bars? So, which I don't disagree with. Like, why should he be paying alimony when she's in jail? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Morning, Lucas. How are you? So, she's watching football talk. Okay. This one is once again to Judge Dean. Forgive me in advance. I am inadvertently lagging the progress and updates of my case and need your assistance to help. Please provide clarification and explanation for my case fully, honestly, and correctly. This past Friday, September 9th, 22, I received a copy of the order for case management conference for September 19th, 22 at 3:30. The order was done and ordered on Monday, August 22nd, 22. The copy of the order was postmarked Wednesday, September 7th, 22. Why was I not mailed this the same day and it was signed? Why were only former husband and his attorney in receipt? Why was I finally mailed a copy 2 weeks after completion? Would I have received last month? I could have had ample time to prepare and make arrangements to respond sooner. How is this acceptable? Your Honor, why am I not being included in and on and in everything the same time as everyone else? I am either not at all mailed pertinent information and updates, it's sent to the wrong person, or I'm receiving last minute, being made to scramble within the ongoing fear and threat of not being included, and is not by choice either. Do you all not understand, remember, or care that I am the other party, the respondent in this case? The way I'm being treated by all other parties is wrong, unjust, and seems unlawful, giving the appearance I don't care due to lack of responses and the extended length of time I take when I do from not receiving my needed documents to respond accordingly. Jesus. Now I have only 5 days from receiving my copy on my end, which includes the time it takes for you to even receive this letter, to prayerfully grant permission to me so I can be included at this case management conference in my case next Monday. Emphasis on attitude in my case. I do not have a legal representative or steward to also be included at this conference on my behalf, making my efforts and attempts more desperate and my want more ferocious. Judge Dean, please understand. Please see my determination and the never-ending hurdles continuously being pushed in front of me or thrown where I keep having to learn how to jump higher, higher, and higher. Just know, with my heartfelt will, my honorable cause and unbridled love for my son and my rights to be his mother, to be able to make competent, important, and valued decisions in his life, I'm going to learn how to fly over the hurdles in this case, my other case, and my battle with cancer. This is the only time, these are the only letters I've ever seen her say she had cancer. And any other health issues I'm dealing with. I'm not, was that supposed to be FYI? I'm not going to jump anymore. It's my right to be heard, seen, and respected as the person and mother I am. It's not right in any way for me to be ignored, bypassed, and automatically overruled because I am poor with no family or support system. I am not mute. I am not mentally retarded or impaired. Her words, not mine. I am a loving, determined mother, friend, teacher, supporter. I am also an ex-wife that ex-husband needs to conclude will always be in our son's life and his. and come to an acceptance of the situation, which nonetheless is temporary. Here, there, wherever, now, then, future, former husband is going to have to respectfully deal with me one way or another. We have a child together. The sooner he comes to terms with all of this as I have, the sooner the beginning of his hard thought after relief can start. He and whoever else needs to remember the crystal balls are a novelty. Oh, I am doing everything in every way to stay afloat and still be a part of everything involved in my son's life and mine. In the meantime, I've been providing relief to former husband in numerous ways on a daily basis. Nothing was as difficult or tumultuous until he decided to devise his scheming, manipulative plans and agreements. No one would know this because no one has given me a chance to be a part of anything. Although the playing field is completely uneven and the odds are stacked so high against me, I can't see the top and I have nothing. I'm going to fly. With that being said, and unfortunately at the last minute, now that you have received and read this with only a couple of days remaining before the conference, I want and am entitled to be in attendance, however necessary, so I am rightfully updated, present, and most importantly included for preparation of the upcoming hurdles futuristically. What needs to be done so I can be there Monday, September 19th, 22 at 3:30 p.m. Courtroom 9B, Orange County Courthouse. The address, transport order, video setup, telephone appearance, must be court ordered per instructions on the copy of order setting the hearing. How? It is not right if I am unable to attend to this due to last minute attempted arrangements being made for me to do so. Would I have received the information when everyone else did 2 weeks ago? Timely plans could have been made and scheduled just as the order was on August 22nd, 22. Today, September 9th, 22, and finally, for whatever reason, I am just now aware is scheduled. Please instruct me on what I may need to do so I can cooperate and greatly increase my opportunity to be there. How can I validate and educate when no one listens, cares, or is in front of me? I thank you as always for your invaluable time, consideration, and much needed overdue assistance. Who else is there, Honorable Dean? I am also still waiting for your response from my most recent letter sent to you on August 17th regarding another order dispensing mediation. I never received and was only made aware was generated by my 11-year-old son reading to me due to being sent to his address. Please provide an update for that as well. Also, on the order for the conference, I am graciously requesting to be included and a part of on page 2 of 2, where all parties were sent a true and correct copy. My address is incorrect. Please change so no other penalty, mistake, or reasons are made to be used against me in whatever way it seems everyone, especially my former husband, is hoping will be my demise. Again, thank you, Judge Dean. I look forward to meeting you. Sincerely, Sarah Boone. Oh my God. Yay. I mean, like, how long has the case been running for? I only recently started to look into it. The date of the crime was February 25th, 2020. She was divorced but receiving alimony at the time. This is in response to all these letters are in response to her ex-husband trying to get the alimony removed, because if she's in jail, why does he need to be paying her alimony? So it's over. Just go, yeah, and it's over. The case was the trial was last week. She was found guilty. Her sentencing is December 2nd. A minimum of 22 and a half years. She turned down a plea deal which would have her out in 5 years. You want down? Okay. Here you go. No, you don't want down? No. You want that? Okay. It's not open. But okay. If you want my protein shake, you can have my protein shake. Thanks, Unhung Hero, member for 1 month. Squid Squad, 1 month of monetization already. Woof. Can't believe time flies. Like King Bob, member for 1 month. 1 month. Time flies when having fun. Yeah, it's been pretty fun. I mean, there's some stuff. And hey, Gabby, gotta get back to modding. Have fun. An alternate juror had to come say thank you to King Bob for my membership. I'll bring my 5 million viewers next time. I would appreciate that, alternate juror. And how are you doing today? It's been quite the whirlwind of a couple of weeks, to say the least. And hey, Lily. I have another Orange County case involving a cop is alleged of taking out his wife. Ooh. Yeah, that one would be interesting. Well, I only have trolls because I am friends with Mike from Veteran Nation. Oh, and the people who call him Vag Nation, y'all realize that I gave him a monetization idea for that because January is cervical cancer awareness month. So what you think is an insult, I hope he monetizes the shit out of. Because I would order a Vag Nation shirt. Just saying. Just saying. Like, yeah, they can talk about me all they want because like I said at the beginning of the stream, you can't care about people who don't matter to anybody. Nobody loves them. When they inevitably leave this world because nobody gets out of this thing alive, nobody lives forever. So when their time is inevitably over, no one will remember their name. No one loves them. The only gratification that they get is from making people's lives hard on the internet. They have no careers. They have no friends. No one will remember who they are. So since no one remembers who they are here, why should I care? But you talk about my little, and that's what made me upset. But if talking about my little makes me unhinged, and if protecting my child and my family makes me unhinged, then, so be it. Imagination. I don't know where that is. You can, I'll let you use your imagination for that, but I hope that Mike monetizes the hell out of that. Because I would. I'd buy a cervical cancer awareness shirt saying #VagNation. Like, wouldn't y'all? What does Megan always say? Monetize your haters. Cheers. I would monetize the shit out of that. But that's just me. I'm petty. Like, this is where we live. 99.9% of our day is spent in the pettyverse. So I mean, I would honestly monetize the shit out of that. Because all of his proceeds go to his foundation. So, like, you're helping vets. I've had internet issues all day. All day. We are going to turn my internet off. There we go. There. Oh, boy. And here is another one to Judge Dean. And I'm sorry I'm not paying attention to the chat when I'm reading these because I kind of want to get through them. And I'm just gonna leave that one be. Oh, excuse me. Dear Judge Dean, and I think this was 9/23. The date's kind of cut off. It's not having any more issues than the old internet. So it's really, I mean, it's really not having any more issues than the old internet. Just, you know. Um, yes, and Sarah Boone is insufferable. I'm just not saying certain things out loud because the little's here. So, and I'm sorry I'm not paying attention to the chat because if I lose my place in these letters, I'm going to lose my mind because then I'll have to start over. Virgin Media, I'm not really sure. We thought so, but I don't know. Dear Judge Dean, I wanted to take a moment to thank you for allowing me to be in attendance during the case management meeting last Monday, 9/19. It has been such a long time since something good really has happened to me, since being incarcerated for ongoing 3 years almost. I thank you profusely for helping me, listening to me, and having an open heart and mind to see me as a human being, a mother also. Your invaluable time, empathy, and understanding are beyond appreciated. Thank you for seeing me. I am so impressed, and my sincerest gratitude cannot be fully expressed for your kindness and goodness. I look forward to any future meetings there may be, and I'm confident my hard work and determination and efforts will not return me to void or fall on deaf ears. A victory indeed in my battles in preparation for the war on the horizon. Girl, you're not a vet. I will not creep away as I continue to be brave and fight on. Thank you for giving me hope more than you know. It was an honor to meet you, Your Honor. As sorrowful yet always rejoicing, as poor yet yet making many rich, as having nothing and possessing all things. 2 Corinthians 6:10. I can't believe. P.S. Thank you for seeing all that crystal balls don't work at all. Ever dust catchers. I mean, did she just quote the Bible? Oh my God. No. 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 I live in rural Georgia. So we don't get a lot of things out here that, cities might have. These letters don't fool anyone, Sarah. The judge was doing his job. Yeah. D. Oh my God, I love this channel already. I was sent here by Megan. First time watching and you're awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. It's we're reading through Sarah Boone's divorce letters from 2022. GC, please creep away, Sarah. It would be a big favor to everyone. Yeah, I can only see, I hope that after the sentencing on December 2nd, that she will just fade, fade into the sunset and, live her whatever life she can behind bars. But, I have a feeling that it's going to be a dramatic, they're going to appeal. It's going to be a thing. I have a feeling this is going to be ongoing and her attorneys are not going to drop this. Why is she quoting scriptures? Because she's out of her mind. Sarah should pack it in, pack it up, or ship it out. I don't know. She needs to make a suitcase line. Fade like blue jeans. Hey, Debbie, how are you today? It seems like they all, quote, find Jesus while incarcerated, but once they're out, it's back to their old ways. Yeah, and I know that some people do honestly, I have seen it. I have seen it both ways. I have seen friends that have been incarcerated, got out, and are back to the way that I remember them when we were kids. And then there are some who have been incarcerated and you think they're going to change. And then all of a sudden you get this message that says, I just got out of jail again. And it's like, why doesn't that surprise me? Like, why doesn't that surprise me? And as much as I want to help my friends, like I can't be there all the time. Like you can only do so much. Um Hopefully it'll be like Jodi Arias' appeal attempt. Some rules may or not have been broken, but the evidence is so overwhelming appeal is impossible. True. Like the Sarah safety suitcase with internal and external zipper pulls, a blowhole for easy breathing. You all remember that this was not her first time putting someone in a suitcase. We just don't have access to the documents for the last time she did it because it was her son and those are family court, and because he is a minor, they were sealed. But I do know from the article that I was sent that things were dismissed because it was, quote, consensual. I don't know how a child can consent to anything, especially being zipped into a suitcase. Yeah. See, and that son of Sam found religion. He even told the parole board. See, and that is someone who I truly think actually found religion, because they were like, no. like no. Yeah, an unconventional restraint. In his closing arguments, he compared her to a war veteran. Like, don't you even conflate those two things. Like, yeah. Like the trunk releases. Yeah, my greatest fear as a kid was being accidentally locked into a trunk, because we had a car that had a really, really big trunk. And like, if I had to help my mom get the groceries out of the back, like I would literally have to like almost climb in the trunk to get the groceries. And I like had this intense fear of being locked in a trunk as a kid. I mean, all right, this next letter. And I thought I was getting better at reading her handwriting, and it's like I feel like I am trying to read these quick. However, there's just it's a run-on sentence. Thanks, Unhung Hero, for the $5 super chat. Sarah will be the reason for suitcases to have an idiot warning not to zip yourself in a suitcase, similar to do not take preparation H orally. Yeah, I know this is not a thing that you do, but like curling irons have a warning to not use internally. So, yeah, and that's the thing. PTSD is not exclusive to veterans by any means. But to compare her to a vet was like, no. Especially when it's been proven that she is the aggressor by video. Hey, Dad, how are you? All right, let's get this next letter. This is again to Dean. We don't owe you anything and are waiting for you to be guilty so we can get out of here and away from you. I don't want to deal with you anymore. I'm going now. Click. Yelling at me so loud the phone is distorting. So loud, former, quote, husband, his father came in and told him to stop being mean to me before hanging up. I'll take things that didn't happen for $500, Alex. Honorable Dean, this is what was told to me by my 11-year-old son when I asked about his best friend and how he was doing, since he hadn't mentioned her in a while. He told me she started, quote, acting strange after he told her he was moving and wouldn't see her anymore. She's upset with him. The conversation continued with me asking why he's telling his friends this, as nothing is set in stone and will be discussed when the time comes. Quote, oh, we're leaving and it doesn't matter what you say. We have an attorney, unquote. Eventually, it turned into the aforementioned statement, and I was laughed at, disrespected, shut down, and hung up on by my son, over asking about his friend. You see, this is where I turn and ask, how is this okay, Your Honor? How is this? This is exactly how a former, quote, husband treats me, and has unfortunately successfully passed this disgusting trait to our son. Nonetheless, how dare both of them disregard me the way they are, making me feel like I am nothing, no one, worthless, and a joke. I'm sick of being laughed at. Well, maybe you shouldn't have zipped somebody into a suitcase and gotten yourself placed behind bars, and then just maybe they wouldn't be thinking of you in this way, along with the rest of the world. Yeah. And someone had the balls to call me a shit mom. Yeah. Yeah. I took it upon myself, and this is cut off, so if I mess this up, I apologize. I took it upon myself not to, that's as much as I can read, date to talk about with former husband calmly and rationally as I asked him why our son spoke to me the way he did and where he's getting the idea you all are definitely leaving moving. He's losing good friends over it. Quote, well, that's the plan, and I figured you should start getting used to it. 50 miles can be overruled. It means nothing, laughing. That's why I have an attorney. You don't. We're just waiting for you to be sentenced. The judge knows everything, and there's not much you can do or say about it, any of it. You'll see. We're leaving no matter what, regardless of the outcome. What's the point of me fighting for my life with my son when I'm treated the way I am by both of them? This is a form of mental and emotional abuse. You would be the expert in that area. Former husband encourages and enables it. I'm yelled at for everything. I'm afraid to call for fear that I will be obliterated and brought to a new level of low. There we go. I'm afraid to call for fear of being obliterated and brought to a new level of low, or tried to see how hard I can be made to cry, then laughed at. I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't. If I do continue in my fight, which I will and am, I am disrespected and almost destroyed. If I don't, then I look like the uncaring, heartless, incompetent mother former husband is hell-bent on making me out to be. I just started to speaking to my son from being screamed at with cruel lies and horrible, mean things that I will not repeat over nothing. Won't repeat over nothing. I didn't call for 3 weeks because of the shock and pure hurt I'm still in for what was said. I am made to feel like a chore, burden, and a pest. I am not welcomed. Life is better without me. I mean, honestly, I probably would agree with that. Everything is one-sided. My son never met my parents, grandparents, or aunt or uncles, deceased. Never knew my family. He only knows the Boones who viciously slander me, his mother behind my back, have perpetually made me the dumb black sheep and continuously plot my demise together. They've poisoned my son and pitted him against me. Since day one, when I was just 9 days into my incarceration, former husband took it upon himself to make the egregious decision to tell him I would be gone and he wouldn't see me for 25 years or longer of his little life. My son cannot be my son and is tortured by the confusion in whether he can be close to me, like we've always been, or even be nice to me. I feel, to be honest, our son is just an innocent pawn in this former husband's scheme to seek his sad, bitter, unrelenting revenge against me. His heart is broken, plastic, and covered in fool's gold. He is not the angel he appears to be. He is an insensitive, callous tyrant, and fully endorsed by his family. No one listens to me. This is one big rambling. I've made the active decision not to call for an undetermined length of time so I can take a break from the beratement. I can only take the terrors inflicted by my former husband in doses. Right now, I've gotten my fill from both of them. If my son wants to speak to me, he can write or schedule a visit, which I doubt will happen from the lack of encouragement and inclusion of me to have a relationship with our son by former husband. Please understand, I can only take so much on top of everything else. I love my son. I need my son. Just not this version, not right now. What can I do? What can you do, please? This is not right. Every time I try to speak to former husband about anything, ends up ugly and unsuccessful. He has taken it upon himself to self-diagnose my case from watching YouTube, his reliable source, and of course, court TV telling me my trial is less than 3 weeks away, assumes I fired all my attorneys. Remember, I am on number 6, but not by choice, and constantly tells me how wrong I am doing everything. He keeps asking me why I keep delaying everything. He gives assumed case details about my witnesses, occurrences, etc. over the phone, telling me about my case. He is assuming everything. He thinks he knows everything about my case. This is wrong. I'm being penalized even more for wrong, empty accusations and information. This will only multiplies his anger and spiteful something. Is to everything I can keep him here ludicrous. This is why I felt the need, Judge Dean, to hesitantly include you on the ongoing struggles I'm having with former husband and his incompetency regarding my life and case. It's never ending and only gets worse. I would also like to be known I have not gotten any of my orders for a hygiene kit, deodorant that works, toothpaste, and a washcloth, or order from a measly coffee package that I began asking for in July. And after you approved on September 13th during our meeting, my ability to start receiving alimony again after former husband immensely diminished and tried to stop. It's the middle of October. There's always an excuse. The most recent, and for the last 3 months, is that his debit/credit card won't work because it's a jail and people steal. He's had to use our son's allowance card just to finally get me a hot meal. I mentioned to you, which ended up coming on my birthday, 10/10, only because I told him about this letter I'm writing. I'm still waiting on the other orders so I can be alert and presentable when my attorney does finally show up, who still has not since the last time I spoke to you. Please know also, my bank account, which I've had for 30 years, has closed due to former husband's failure to pay alimony as instructed by our dissolution of marriage agreement, then also by you. I cannot deposit any checks, one I have been waiting for him to mail me since February and could use towards commissary when he wasn't giving anything. All of my subscriptions are not being renewed. Anything with auto pay cannot be approved. I can't even deposit the alimony former husband is supposed to be paying. I've had this account for 30 years. He assumed his plan would work in not having to pay, so he withheld, causing this to happen. I have no bank account, Your Honor. Also, for all the something that I can't read, supposedly encountering with his debit credit card could have been avoided. Would he have been paying and abiding by the rules? My bank account would be open still. He could have used my debit/credit card, and I would already have the necessities I'm needing. This is a ramble. These are all rambles. Former husband is his own troublemaker. He makes his life more difficult from all of his assumptions and his defiant attitude. Oh, ain't that the pot calling the kettle black? Even if I wasn't incarcerated, I'd be getting the same problems from him. He keeps tripping over his power trips and taking out on me. Where are my orders? How can I get my bank account reopened? He gets no relief from his own doing. Everything was okay before he tried implementing all his agreements and started a second job. So soothsaying. So they say. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me. The constant assaultive, degrading remarks, fear infliction, and terrorizing threats must stop. It makes no difference how soft my approach is in trying to explain to former husband how unnecessary and harmful his actions and comments are, and being the example he is to our son, giving permission. He can do the same, especially to me, his mother, and also to other women futuristically. Just stop. Please, former husband, please. Former husband tries to taunt me every opportunity he can to get a reaction from me, knowing he's got the upper hand in almost everything and can either laugh at me or hang up or both. As said before, I am not helpless. I have God and your awareness of my situations, Judge Jean. Hopefully impose your authority in all manner available to provide any permissible relief for everyone. Something needs to be done sooner than later, considering my trial has an unknown date. I refuse to continue cooperating with former husband on any of his quote terms and the way they are being handled. Look at the bigger picture. In conclusion, the most painful, horrific remark made to me by former husband so far during my attempted call to talk about our son's upcoming birthday, 10/28, with the conversation always turning into their exciting upcoming move, I think, told me, when you're finally put away, more will this more will be the best thing to happen to us, him and son. We can't wait to get out of Orlando and away from you. Laughing. Also, where we'd be moving is very close to the prison. It's going to be very easy and convenient for us. Thank you for your time and assistance, most of all your understanding. I waited as long as I could in everything to involve you, but I don't know what to do or how much more abuse I could endure. I felt you should be included on what's happening behind the scenes when former husband and his attorney aren't sitting in front of you in the courtroom, or you're reading one of their many scheming documents plotting what he can do to me next. You and God, thank you either way and always. Sincerely, Sarah Boone. I just for fuck's sake. Like, holy crap. Busy day at work. Don't want to be laughed at, then don't be a clown. Yes. I mean, there's one thing that could have avoided all of this. Don't get drunk and zip somebody into a suitcase and forget about them. Like, hey, Simon, how are you? Just, I'm, I'm sure, but I'm like, I can't. Like, I've never been divorced. Hell, I've never been married. But if I don't see how writing the judge could make them be nicer to you. Like, that's like telling the teacher, they're being mean to me. No one cares. Like, no one cares. Like, yeah, Sarah Boone, the ongoing biography. I wonder if that'll be the title of the book. My working title for when Baker said about the book was like something about Sarah Boone, how to pack for a permanent vacation. uh there's she can't talk to anybody and she's got to play victim, and I'm pretty sure that some of the things he said were not nice, but at the same time, like, she's not the victim. She's not the victim. A jury proved that she's not the victim. Yeah. And I haven't heard anything more about that whole situation, whether her attorneys are going to be sanctioned for that, whether there's going to be any investigation on that, how she's getting paid. Nothing like that. I haven't heard crap since that one motion from the state asking for them to do something. Yeah, I agree with all these comments. And hey, Flux, how are you? Oh, I want ice cream. Yeah, well. I guess her lip doesn't hurt anymore. Fucking that thumb pretty hard. Yeah. I mean, hey, Cynthia. Hey, Silver Fox. How are you? Like, oh, yeah. Oh. Hey, Mr. Coop. Robert James. How are you? Yes, please hit the like button. Yeah. Did she include the violate? She is apparently drunk on the government cheese and the jury rigged wine. The jailhouse concoction. Somebody's alter ego is getting mad. You should really keep your delusions, but no. Her attorneys have some kind of backdoor deal going on. Yeah, I'm hoping that gets investigated. I haven't heard anything. I haven't seen anything, but I also haven't checked the docket since last Friday or last Saturday because like things are yeah. Professional victim. Yep. And we've seen the videos. Sarah is not the victim. At first I was like mutual. I had the mentality going into the trial from everything I had heard about mutual destruction. Well, after seeing the videos that the prosecution played, like Sarah was the yeah, working and lurking. Oh my god, these letters are like run-on sentences. Hey Jess, how are you? And thank you for sending these to me, by the way. Flash Fan and Jess are the people who are good at investigating things and finding paperwork. I am not. Like, I am not. And hey, David, how are you? Yeah, she was overwhelmingly the aggressor. Overwhelmingly. Like, George looked like a child who was getting yelled at. Like, I felt so bad. Was he completely innocent in the situation? Probably not. Did he drink? Yes. But like, sweet. Hey, Dion. I appreciate all of you guys that are here because this is my impromptu. And this is once again to the judge. Oh my God. If I were this judge, I wouldn't even read these. I'd make somebody else do it and give me the cliff notes. Judge, this one was March 8th, 23. Judge Jean, hello again. Per my attempted conversation today to ask former husband when he was going to schedule our son's dental appointments. She's writing the judge about dental appointments. And when he is really be ordering the small food package I've now been waiting for 10 weeks and counting. This was his abrupt, comical, demanding response. I need to find someone to get my stuff junk out of the garage and put in storage somewhere. However, they're finally leaving. When trying to process what he just dropped on me and talk to him about, I was told it's not his problem. I said I'm in jail, as he likes to remind me of daily. It's not that easy, especially when I have no one, money, or resources, which he knows. He said while laughing, I know, still not his problem. And it's not. You're the one who got yourself there. You're the one who got yourself there. Hey! How are you? Do you want... I will send you the link. Are you trying to set a record? Hold on. I think I want to do this one because I want to get it faster, but I am doing a live at 3. It's my WTF Wednesday. I will send you a link to that one. So that's at 3 o'clock Eastern. So I'll send you a link to that one. This one is just a, I got to get through this because I'm sick of looking at these letters on my desktop. Anything left behind will be put in a garage sale or donated. These belongings are some of the heirlooms from my deceased family, the only things I have of them to remember. Also, baby books, antiques, all of my important, meaningful, historical belongings. Girl, you're in your 40s. Nothing you own is historical. They are still leaving no matter what. It makes no difference what I say or do. I told him about the hearing scheduled for 4/13, and he laughed, saying it's not going to happen. How can I be there when my trial starts on 4/10? I keep explaining to him just because there is a date does not mean it's going to happen then. All of the people I would know if when going to trial, of all people, I would tell him first. Nonetheless, he will be part of my case and will receive information when, if the time comes, so he can plan for participation. Clearly, he has not thought about this and his commuting for however long it may be, and if also what happens if there is a change of venue. Where will that be all seeing psychic Brian? How does this all end? With you in jail. With you in prison, not jail. I'm incredibly frustrated with his continued ignorance and trying to tell me what's happening when, where regarding anything for my case. I'm incredibly frustrated with the continuously with former husband, okay, FH, continuously accusing me of keeping them hostage and putting off again. He knows nothing but what he sees in his crystal ball on the internet. Stop being an all-assuming, self-righteous, bullying soothsayer. I never owe him any specific details about anything about my case, but will of course let him know when I actually am going to trial, or if I even am. Oh, Delulu Sarah. Oh, captain of the Delulus. I cannot do any more than I already am, and I cannot tell the future. No one can. He may not care about the rest of my life, clearly. I most definitely do, and I'm quite sure my son does also. My name is still on the mortgage. See prior summons I was served, and another undeniable concern of mine I am trying to address. Does former husband have to have my signature to sell since my name is still on all the paperwork, or does he actually have to remove as I've been asking about for years and was also written in our dissolution of marriage? In just the last 2 weeks, our son started counseling. Both he and former husband are completely nonchalant about it and seems to not even care about the name of the counselor, duration, or any other information concerning. Why is everything I'm going through all of a sudden so affecting to him or FH? So also the last letter I received regarding my case was from England, moving 3 hours away, over 120 miles, isn't going to solve the problem. He, former husband, thought of the effect it will have on our son moving in the middle of the school year. No friends, new possibly even worse pressures. Culture shock altogether. How can former husband tell if this is supposed to be miraculous move is really in our son's best interest? Especially if temporary, per the petition to relocate. So if granted, they're moving back or again or somewhere else. Oh, yeah. When my case is finalized, however, and whenever that will be, if former husband doesn't care about our son getting good grades or even wearing shoes, why is any of this concerning all of a sudden? It's been 3 years. Their petition also states our son has experienced significant difficulties at school. He is an AB student. His favorite class is musical theater. Not an important detail. He has 7 friends, sleepovers, a girlfriend, and plays online games with the guys almost every day. Maitland Middle School is a significant problem in itself. See reviews, write-ups, not only for our son, but every child who attends there. If anything, he can be rezoned to another school and still have the same expected capabilities, opportunities, and be closer to me. I'm sure there are plenty of other very acceptable schools within the authorized 50-mile radius. Has former husband even looked into contacted supposed far greater educational opportunities stated in the petition? There are such opportunities closer, maybe even better. Has FS or former husband checked, rubbed his crystal ball to see. I am never included in anything, maybe because you're incarcerated, regarding our son. Another undeniable complaint and concern of mine. She thinks she's innocent at this point and gonna be getting out. Like she did nothing wrong. It's like, no, people are starting to see what's in the water. And like people are starting to see what's in the water, that you're probably not getting out of jail for a long time. And they're making plans without you. I see this as yet another secret delight for former husband in making this heartbreaking attempt to move impossible for me, especially if he sells my car, and a bigger disconnect with my son. Woman, you're never driving again. By the time you get out of jail, you're going, if you even get out of jail, you are going to be in your 90s, late 80s, early 90s, and you probably shouldn't be driving anyway. A bigger disconnect with my son. Nonetheless, per the petition, I will be responsible for my own transportation costs. Rezoned schools. I want to see my son. The move is all about former husband. Former husband admitted to me his parents are selling one of their 4 homes and moving to South Carolina. He wants to be close to them, and Gainesville is closer than Orlando. Please remember all the primary reasons former husband wants to move and has blatantly laughed at me about repeatedly is because it's more convenient for him, since where they're moving is down the street from the prison. So disgusting. This is very hurtful, brazen, self-proclaiming assumption. It's said regularly to me and has been already sent in my previous undeniable concerns more than once. How ugly and wrong. Also, Judge Dean, if I may, are you aware of the prison stipulations in their petition, page 2, bottom fine print? Have you reviewed the long-distance parenting plan included also? Does former husband really expect me to drive? If he doesn't sell my car, reminded of regularly also. Uber, bus, helicopter. Whoa, Delulu. Walk back and forth to Gainesville between Friday and Sunday evening, and I only get to even see my son every other weekend. I do not at all agree to this or anything trying to be forced and threatened in order for me to have a relationship with my son. I will no matter what, and former husband will never take that away. It's not his to take. And does he not realize this is all predicted by him in his something? Her handwriting, the more angry she gets, the worse it gets. Everything will fall into place perfectly as he sees. This is all unpredicted. How can any of this be proposed on predictions? How is any of this even fair? Why has nothing been discussed, only him making demands? Absolutely, undeniably ludicrous and wrong. Former husband is using our son as a ploy, and I feel it's selfishly seeking his own gratification and pleasure. As said before, former husband, he can't wait for me to be found guilty and leave. He's not even waiting for that. If that even happens, it happened. Please tell me when exactly everything predicted is going to happen. October 2024. Anything when. Former husband knows nothing. One thing he does know is that all my concerns are without in every way undeniable and all true. He will never admit and just keeps making his retaliations worse because none of my concerns are made up or false. Only experienced or still experiencing, and also that I make his cruel comments, laughter, and actions known to everyone. He is not who he appears, nor will ever be. Judge Dean, there is so much more to be said on top of my already legitimate concerns. I'm assuming real legitimate concerns I have already sent in hopes to be remedied. Nothing has changed. Only gotten meaner and worse. Former husband's egotistical backhanded assumptions and plots are unfair and not at all funny. Who does he think he is now that I'm incarcerated? This explains what kind of person he is, and he and his family really are. Therein also explain why many reasons contributing to where I am now. There's way more to it all. 2 sides. With that being said, Your Honor, I received a copy of a motion to relocate again today, shorter, revised, no prison stipulations or holiday schedule, stating I am only receiving because your J.A. Coffee told his, I'm assuming that's former husband again, but I don't know, when trying to submit, told his attorney when trying to submit without my knowledge as usual, I must be included. Otherwise, I would not have this, like I do not have anything else filed from anyone. According to the clerk's website, multiple documents have been filed, which I have not been included on to receive copies. This being a huge complaint and concern for in our last status hearing back in September of 2022. Why am I not getting copies? The only documents I have are the original summons served on me in front of everyone and a now obsolete order setting a hearing for 1323. That isn't going to happen apparently because of all the other orders, motions, answers filed I know nothing about and can't read or open online and haven't been sent copies. How am I supposed to prepare or respond accordingly and timely when I'm not included or part of anything other than being told what to do, how and when, and the terrible, ridiculous parent I am by former husband. Unfair in every way and wrong. Unjust. I do not know when the new order setting hearing is to happen that was just filed or the order filed after on the same day. Since my original letter to you, 123-23, uploaded 131-23, 11 other documents. Bye. 11 other documents have been filed, uploaded, none of which I can view. I only know what I received. Dude. As I summons petition. Why am I still not receiving copies? Redundant, Sarah, redundant. I said before to you, Your Honor, and the court, this is the only way I'm able to be kept updated. I have no reliable, consistent outside resources to do anything or really provide information. I rely on the court for this inclusion. Please send me copies of everything being filed so I can read, review also. I don't even get a copy of my letters anymore, which notifies me the judge court has received, and I have once before. Why not still? I am not helpless nor giving up in any way in anything, especially regarding my son and our life together futuristically. Former husband needs to destroy the crystal ball and don't quit his day job when he has one. I'm sure undeniably by having one also and not relying on his parents' millions, his economic circumstances would most definitely improve in so many ways. Oh my God. I am me and I'm trying relentlessly forever. I believe in myself and I'm confident in God I will get through this. We all will. This is not for forever either, my circumstances or remaining life. Stop trying to make it. I am hoping former husband can understand and cooperate as unobtrusive and cordial as possible in order for everyone's life to be successful and happy. This includes me also. Please send copies so I know when the new hearing is scheduled so I can plan accordingly. Please understand too, we inmates are woken up at 3 a.m., sit in 3 to 4 holding cells for 10 to 14 hours when going to court for 30 minutes of your time. It's also a physical preparation on top of the mental. I very much would like to be ready. Please, thank you for your time, understanding, and copies. I mean, just... Has nobody told Sarah she's no longer a parent? Yeah, well... Yeah, she's on... There's only a few people that I know of in this world that are more delulu than her. Oh. Lori Vallow wanting to go pro se. Oh my God. Yeah. Work in the library. Ma'am. These are We are on page 34 of 53. We may not get through all of these. We're probably going to go another 20 minutes, and then I'm going to give myself a little bit of a break, get her some mommy time, get her taken care of. I mean, she's content with sitting here, but, she needs food and diaper change and all that fun stuff. Oh, boy. Delulu, Queen of the Delulus. Queen of the Delulus. Huh. April 20th. Once again to the judge. Hello, and thank you for granting a hearing for my motion for contempt, scheduled via Zoom 5/11/23 at 9 a.m. I am in the process of gathering my necessary evidence as requested, but wanted to remind you I'm incarcerated and do not have the capability of using the computer to gather statements, calling about, or going to my bank. Oh. It gets worse. Oh, great. Yeah. I'm certain that Boone most likely already has serious issues, but from what I've seen from some people, it seems to be common that cancer can screw up a person's thinking. Did she really have cancer? Because the only thing I've seen of it is her letters. I've never seen anything from the state, from, like, I know chemo brain is real. I worked at a hospital for 6 years, and it was a 700-ish bed hospital, so we saw everything. But, like, did she actually have cancer? Because, I mean, just just a thing. Even if I did, due to non-payment of ordered alimony by former husband, my bank account, which I've had for 30 years, is closed from having an ongoing growing negative balance for an extended period of time. Please know I'm doing all I possibly can from jail with what I'm able to submit. I'm confident it will suffice, showing not even one agreed, ordered, and signed for $1,000 payment, along with all decreased amounts chosen by my former husband to give sometimes, and the everyday payments deductions of my account. Please note, in the meantime, would alimony have been being paid, I would not have to contact or be degraded by former husband every week to ask. He knows when commissary day is, and it has been over 3 years I've been here. My bank account would not be closed, 30 years. I would have essentials and needed items. I would not be constantly lied to about phantom orders and made to ask for updates weekly. I would have peace of mind about being able to maintain blood sugar, glucose levels from having available and needed snacks. Is she diabetic? Like, futuristically cancer. Yeah. Have a great day, King Bob. I would not ever have a negative balance. Other participants could purchase care packages for me without having to add money. So in the positive in my account, and the only way to order. My medications could be paid for when processed. My temporary life of incarceration could be to a small degree simplified by my former husband, would not have to deal with me continuously, and I would not have to keep contacting the court to take up the judge's time to order again former husband to continue paying. Former husband should not have made the decision to disregard the order to pay and made up his own rules along the way. This is contempt. It was never acceptable for my former husband to treat me in a very unacceptable way. He has and is. I would not be incarcerated, which makes no difference and is temporary, or is stated anywhere and agreed to in the dissolution of marriage agreement. Former husband would have his license suspended, wages garnished, or be arrested and put in jail, where he'd get the idea real quick how it really works and understand everything I've been trying to explain to everyone for years now. Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with that. With that being said, my most important reason for this letter is to please request a copy of my marriage dissolution agreement to properly prepare for this hearing. I refuse to be blindsided as I was for the last petition to relocate. I've asked former husband many times, as well as you, Judge Dean, verbally and in writing with no success. This document is a must for this hearing and only fair that I have also. Please send at your earliest opportunity or refer me to where I can obtain immediately. I've been asking this for over 3 years. I want the same advantage in having this document and what the entire hearing is about. Thank you for the opportunity. Oh, I did not hear that she had a mole removed. And she in the earlier in her earlier notes or letters to the judge, she talks about having cancer. She doesn't say what kind of cancer, she doesn't say where, she just says cancer and feel bad for me. Which is one of the reasons that I thought she was lying, is because I have not seen anything from the prison saying she went to treatments. And I might have missed it when I looked, but I literally couldn't find any of it. So I'm confused on like exactly what she's talking about or how. Because there's no like follow-up, nothing was mentioned at her trial. And you'd think in her trial it would be like, okay, feel bad for me, I had cancer. Somebody would have mentioned it. But it never did. So, I don't know. June 28th of 23, whomever actually reads and cares, if anyone. Nobody cares, Sarah. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Like, nobody cares. Why are you continuing to enable former husband petitioner Brian Boone to break the law and lie to the court, never being reprimanded or even asked about anything? The judge in any case is supposed to be a teacher and a guardian of the law, which includes all rights to all citizens of the United States. I'm sorry, Angel, this is mine. Yep. No matter being rich, poor, smart, stupid, with or without an attorney, everyone, including me, who has avidly and diligently fought hard still and tried everything I can to be treated fairly, properly, correctly in my case, and from experience still, am not or have been ongoing and repeatedly. I do not want to be lied to or laughed at by anyone. Too late. The judge and court are allowing former husband to do as he pleases. He has money. I rot in jail in preparation for prison. I have nothing. I keep losing. To make the court aware, former husband and his attorney lied to everyone and myself during the trial for his temporary petition to relocate on 3/29/23, where he was granted permission to take my minor son away temporarily and move well beyond the 50-mile radius to Gainesville. During this trial, when asked by his attorney, former husband stated he would be renting a home temporarily, which was understood and granted as being temporary until my case currently is settled and complete. They are buying and moving permanently. I was told by my son. Their house is under contract and in this process of undergoing inspections to be completed next week. This is not temporary. How is he allowed to keep lying? When someone buys a home, it's permanent. He tells me everything is going according to his plan and is waiting for me to be found guilty. He calls me a murderer. Well, if the shoe fits. He doesn't care in the least what will happen when everything changes. What will my son think? No one knows the future, and how dare anyone assume they can? This was pretty open and shut. No pun intended. I mean, yeah. Yeah, it probably would, but I mean, if you know where those documents are located, I gladly, because I haven't been able to find anything about even a mole being removed. Yes, this right here. Like, and I'm not a doctor, so I work in the medical field, or worked in the medical field, but I can't exactly tell you if, you know. Ugh. Too late. We're all laughing. Yep. Did you bump your head? Come here, baby. Come here, Angel. Come here. Did that hurt? Well, you're tall now. You can't walk under the table like you used to. Yeah. You're well, I guess we're fine. Yeah. Just competent decisions. I think when she left someone in the suitcase to unalive, she pretty much excluded herself from placing those. Yeah. If Sarah Boone got cancer, I'd be bad for cancer. Yeah. Where did I? How can you allow former husband to keep lying to the court? He is held accountable for nothing. I haven't even processed the fact that they were even allowed to move before anything has even happened in my case, if it even will. And if after I was told by the judge nothing will because you can't have a trial before a trial. That's a lie. It's already happened once without any warning, unfairly and deceptively. Judge Dean, what happened to my constitutional rights? You stated he was and still is violating during the one and only status hearing there's been in this case, and in which I keep trying to set another for it just to be canceled and be laughed at by everyone. My rights are being violated and approved by you. When is former husband ever going to be held responsible for any of his inhumorable lies, not paying alimony, moving temporarily, etc., etc., etc.? I keep being lied to by everyone because I am incarcerated and have nothing. Take. This is not a justice system in any way on any level. He lies, gets everything approved. I tell the truth, I get nothing. Hey, Debbie, how are you? I can't even get a copy of my still active dissolution of marriage agreement to know what exactly I am owed lawfully by former husband now because I'm told I have to pay per page per the marriage department I've written to 3 times and no one will supply otherwise. Also, I cannot have an outside source print mail from being non-public. Please grant my motion for a case management hearing and without cancellation so Brian Boone, former husband, petitioner, can lie directly to the court again. When asked why he's now buying a house and why he's still not paying alimony after he's been ordered by the judge and court to twice, along with all my other undeniable concerns I've been trying to have addressed for almost 4 years. This court is allowing former husband to be in contempt and to continue being in contempt while I am and have been robbed of everything I need, want, and should have by law. Hopefully, also, this motion for case management is, if granted, will be recorded correctly in the minutes or whatever new order may be granted former husband, unlike the motion for temporary relocation with its numerous clerical errors and documents defining mistakes. Apparently, Judge Dean, you don't read those either and should. Still waiting to see what justice is peons count too. I have rights. In the Circuit Court of the 9th Judicial Circuit in Fort Orange County, Florida. Yeah. Motion for case management hearing. And I'm not going to read that. We all know that what she's already said. Like, she goes, this is the start of her motion writing. Like, this line. Girl, you a Delulu. You are Delulu. So she wrote a motion. We're not reading the motion because we all know what she said in the last 20 letters or 10 letters. Yeah. This is also September 5th. Motion to read letter from respondent and scheduled case management hearing. Judge, so she writes it as a motion, but then she writes Judge Michael Dean. She writes it like a letter. And all my attempts, 16 total, to protect myself and help from the still ongoing hate, lies. And you can tell she's getting pissed because her handwriting gets worse. Like, I wonder if the state's expert got all these and actually read through all of these to make a case for why she had narcissistic behaviors. Oh. So she writes a motion, but then she writes it like a letter. So it doesn't make any sense. Sarah should have called Daryl Brooks to, yeah. Rage writing, yes. Because you can tell she can't even, either that or it's like in the middle of the night. Hate, lies, slander, degradation, cruelty, and active abuse from former husband Brian C. Boone. Nothing has been improved, made better, corrected, relieved in any way for myself, the respondent, from my former husband, the court, or judge. I've tried everything. I have made innumerable requests and sent many letters asking for aid from all with no success or assistance, listening or care by anyone other than myself trying to relieve or altogether stop his inappropriate bitterness, anger, and wrongdoing. Well, he's raising your son by himself because you went and unalived somebody and got yourself put in jail. Please see list below of my letter sent to you in court per the Records Management Division of the Clerk of Courts. For the third time, I've tried getting a copy of my active dissolution of marriage agreement. I cannot have because they are wanting payment in order to receive, and I am in jail. You're in jail, Sarah? I had no idea. I don't think anybody knew. Thanks for letting us know yet again. I also have no bank account after the one I had was closed after having for 30 years due to non-payment of alimony from the former husband and stated in prior letters. These are all the letters she wrote to this, and just in this case, not even to the judges in her second degree unaliving case. It is appalling how uninterested, uncaring, nonchalant you and the justice system are about my side in any of this, and will not listen without the right paperwork and attorney, knowing I am actively being taken advantage of and wrongfully mistreated by former husband Brian Boone. You have continuously enabled him, given him a self-appointed right and understanding to keep doing and saying and taking everything wrongfully and illegally from me, including and especially the love and respect for my son. It is not okay. Quote, you're a killer. That's why I'm not doing anything. Unquote. Former husband said in front of son on phone. You're not important to anyone. Former husband, numerous dates. You're not a priority. Former husband, numerous dates. Dad says you're annoying and beg all the time. Son told me after asking him to ask former husband if he finally ordered a book and a hot meal after being made to call daily to check for 13 weeks. Yeah, I would assume that, and even if she did, I don't see why he. Prenup. Yeah, I'm convinced it's the former husband that should be in prison, not Sarah. I completely agree. Sarah is the innocent one here. She did not do anything wrong, and the whole world is against her. The whole world. Sarah is perfect in every way, like Mary Poppins. I lie to you because I can. Dad does all the time, son. You make no difference in our lives. Former husband, numerous dates. 9/4/23 recent. That's okay with you and acceptable, Judge Dean? Is that what you are giving him permission for and to keep doing in front of my son? It's not illegal to talk crap about your ex to your child. It might be morally wrong, but it's not illegal. So, sucks to be you. Why won't you stop any of his abuse, verbal, mental, and emotional? Why aren't you, as my judge, doing anything to hear, understand both sides? What else is needed to be done to me by my former husband in order for you to help me? What else can I do I have not done already for any relief on my side? Stop enabling. Judicially, you must know this is wrong and how I'm being treated. I'm told every time when trying to reduce any anguish or mistreatment from former husband and cooperate, trying to help. Quote, the judge doesn't care what you write. My son now says the same when I correct him on how he is being mean and rude to me. He's never going to do anything for you until your trial is over, and even then it will still be all in my favor. My other document is ready to go so I can take the rest. I have an attorney. You deserve nothing. You mean nothing, unquote. Then former husband gets his precious attorney to file another answer denying allegations because I'm telling the truth all the time about his awful lies and I am right. Yes, Sarah, you're always right. Judge Dean, I have to continue taking former husband's abuse, neglect, unlawful actions, cruel comments, and hate until my trial, when it happens. However long that will be, now considering my attorney has withdrawn from my case and no date of trial is known or will be for an undetermined amount of time. How much more hate and disrespect will my former husband encourage my son to keep lying and overall being mean to me, his mother? Former husband is teaching and reflecting a terrible example of how women can and should be treated. Oh, I gotta bite my tongue on that one. Nonetheless, mother of his child. This is egregious and wrong. Please read my prior motion for case management hearing. I sent 6/28/23 with no response to date. I'm requesting again to please schedule. It is fair, and there are too many topics to be discussed, including my attorney, to write, and I only have one pen. Necessary, lawful, and active important topics. What is the certified notice of delinquent support filed on 8/3/23? Maybe her son needs to be told that who knows what her son is going through. That's true. Like, I can't imagine what her son is currently going through or has gone through for the past 4 years, and even before that. Being in the house with arguments all the time. Like, I just can't imagine. Please grant my motions and schedule my imperative overdue owed meeting. Everyone needs and must have the same understanding now and in the future. It is fair. What else can I do? What else is left except for begging, which former husband says I do all the time? What am I doing wrong in order to be treated rightfully, properly, ethically correct in order to finally receive your judicial assistance? How I am and have been and will be treated by former husband Brian C. Boone is unfair, malicious, and wrong. It should not be in any way allowed to continue. Stop. Please see, please listen, please help. Judge Dean, what was the reason for your comment made in your courtroom about former husband violating my constitutional rights? If you're not going to help or uphold said rights and lawfully allow me to use, what is the point? Why do I even have? There's a subject, but there's no predicate. I do in order for you to remark and see that they are being violated. 9/19/22. Please schedule. It is my right. It is fair. Sincerely, Sarah Boone. Please send a copy of this letter so I know it was received and will serve as my receipt. Holy. This is her Legal Aid Society of Orange County Bar Association. Dear Ms. Boone, we have reviewed your letter requesting legal assistance. This letter is to inform you that the Legal Aid Society of the Orange County Bar Association will not be able to assist regarding family law matters. Our office receives hundreds of requests each month for free legal assistance. While we would like to help as many applicants as possible, due to limited staff and other resources, we are unable to assist everyone who contacts us. As a result, we have established case acceptance priorities to address the most pressing needs of our client community, and thus, we do not accept matters that involve alimony and/or custody time sharing on behalf of a parent who does not have the child residing with them for at least 50% of the time. Our consideration of your case was limited, and our decision not to provide you legal representation does not mean that you do not have good cause or defense. She underlined this part. You should be aware that the passage of time might prevent you from pursuing your claim or defense. We are not aware of any free legal resources to assist you. We suggest you contact a private attorney of your choice or the Attorney Referral Service. The Attorney Referral Service is a service available through Orange County Bar Association and their phone number. The Attorney Referral Service provides the referral free of charge to an attorney who practices in your area of law. If you would like to obtain the services of an attorney to talk to, The attorney will charge you an hourly rate for his or her services to represent you in this case. Sincerely, Legal Aid Society. Ugh. And that is the last page of her divorce letters. Jeez. There is always that possibility. And I can't speak for him. I don't know what he went through or what he's currently going through, but I feel for that child. Children are largely innocent. And he was 11 back in 22. So I think he turned 14. He turned 14 not Sunday. His birthday is the 28th. Yeah, what about George's rights? She didn't care about his right to live, so why should anyone care about her not getting any money for commissary? I hope this the ex-husband won. Well, it seems like it. And now that she's been found guilty, and will be in prison for a minimum of 22 and a half years. But I've been told Florida's an 85% state, so that's like 18 years. Yeah. Yep. All right, guys, that is the end of all the letters, and I can finally close this out. Thank goodness. I'm so happy to be done with those. Like, Sarah Boone has been fascinating to cover as one of the biggest trials that I've covered since I've had my channel. But like, I am so glad that most of it is over. Yeah, I don't think she'll get the minimum either. For some reason, how quickly that jury came back, how she's acted, the fact that she was going for the battered spouse with very little evidence on her side, I'm thinking either life or a minimum of 40 years, which for a woman of her age, and she's not much older than me, so I can't really say she's old. I'm thinking 40 years, which for her is pretty much a life sentence, because that would put her at about 85 if she gets out. So yeah, and life expectancy is what, 83? So it's a life sentence either way. Yeah. Yeah. She's in the twilight zone. So I am going to take a break. I will be back at 3:00 with What the F Wednesday, and we will talk about some stuff too. Yeah, doing streams kind of gives me a headache, but Sarah Boone gives me a bigger one. I mean, Sarah Boone is Queen of Delulu. Queen of Delulu. Like, there's delusional, and then there's whatever she is, because she's on a whole other level. Blech. Yeah. See you, Zach. Zach, your profile pic always makes me laugh. Like, I'll see you guys in about 40 minutes. We have some off non-law stuff to discuss. Mostly football. So it's my sports ball stream. I haven't talked sports ball in a long time. So y'all have a great day. I'm going to go make sure she's taken care of, get her changed and fed. And I'll see you in a bit. Bye, guys.